Okay. Well, that's good. Hopefully I can be heard. Okay. So we're going to try this again. We're going to try to chainsaw carve a fish. If you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I'm just going to quit. The heck with it. I don't know. But let's see what happens. I don't know what kind of difficulty I'd be having that I have no sound. So I guess that's life sometimes. I guess I'll cut into this and see what happens. And hopefully I can be heard. I don't know. Hopefully. Let's see. Can you hear me? Colt, I got volume now. Heck yeah. Hey, Dad, what's going on? Dot Johnson, are you guys able to hear me? That's pretty important. Okay, you can hear me. I'm good. I'm good. Is that what you're trying to say? Hi, Kevin England. How's it going? We can hear you now. Good. All right. Okay. Well, I probably screwed up my description and all that, thumbnail and all that crap that YouTube expects you to do. But whatever. Let's get it done. We're going to make a trout. Back over to the carbon bar. I started out with the carbon bar and I'm like, that piece is too big. Sometimes I do stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like I was using that 16-inch bar yesterday. I was out there cutting wood with it. And yeah, it's just the way it goes. And then I forgot about it. I could have used the file pull across it a couple times, but it's still all right. Anyway, let's keep on going. You guys hit the like and we'll do the rest, I guess. Make that thing give it an open mouth. It's a good possibility. That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm not really sure. But anyway, hit the like button if you would. What's going on, Dad, Kevin, Colt? We got Dot Johnson, awesome member of the channel. Heck yeah. Okay. Hey, you're going to run, ain't you? worth your time. I forgot all about it, but I cut wood with it yesterday. Bit at a time. It'll come together. I think I'll survive. I'm pretty mad about the whole sound thing. I can tell you that. Heck yeah. Hi, Frank Trevino. Hey, Woodchucker. What's up, buddy? Check out Woodchucker Caleb. Starting to look like a fish. I'm just not sure up here. I think I want to give it an open mouth, so I'm a little hesitant to cut that piece off there yet because I'm just not sure. getting the top of this fish done. He's not starting out too bad now. But I'll tell you, I'm pretty irritated about that sound thing. I don't know what the heck was that. Hey, Kanaka Joseph. Hello, user. Whatever it is. Sometimes you just feel used, you know. You just never know. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good time. You got a pretty good eye view on that. Yeah, I kind of think so. Yeah, you can really see what's going on. Okay. All right, cool. That's what we're after. So I got the top side of the fish pretty well blocked out. I got to do the bottom side of it now. We'll see how it goes. Boy, I'll tell you, I'm hacked off about that sound. I can't even understand why I'm so hacked off, but I'm pretty hacked off about it. Now, before I do that, though, I think I should make my decision on this mouth. And I think that the mouth probably ought to be opened up. What do you think? Let's see. I still can't believe Boss Lady picked on me, man. I can believe it. Yeah. Heck yeah, I can believe it. Profile that real quick. Hope you guys are having a good time. I'm still irritated. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I need to quit my crying, don't I? Anyway, hit the like button if you haven't already, and we'll keep right on going. What happens is you don't have no description or anything like that. It's just a random thumbnail and title and all that stuff. And you lose views because of that sound glitch. And I guess maybe I'm being a baby about it, but it hacks me off. Yeah. All right. Well, you know about. I'll be going crazy with it. So it is what it is. But digging a fence out, I'll tell you what, it starts to come alive, and it's fun. It starts to become pretty fun to make. At least I think so. There we go. Anyway, hit the like button if you haven't already. We'll do what we can do with her. That's kind of an ugly piece of wood, though, isn't it? It is what it is. Ah, okay. This one hadn't run yet today. But it will run. Eventually. I mean, she's wearing me out. Well, maybe it won't run. I don't know. Sometime. all bent up, jumping out of the water, grabbing him a big old fly to eat. Can't blame him for that. Heck yeah. Hey, Susie Q, what's going on? Delan in there. Hello, Dan. Glad to have you guys in there. Heck yeah. All right, so let's keep shaping him up. Let's dig his tail out next because I don't want anything under there at all. I think I'll cut that out. And then, I mean, it's coming pretty long, pretty good on the shape. He's just going to be one-sided like it's set up against the wall. But anyway, let's do it. So I think he's in cleanup and shaping mode at this point. We'll start shaping him a little bit. Cleaning up the edges, but no major pieces. And then I'm going to take and make the base like, shale. It's going to look like shale. That's the plan. Anyway, so I'm going to start cutting that in once I get the fish kind of rounded out just a little bit more. about as much as he does a fish. I could be wrong, but I'm irritated. You'll have that. Hey, Tom Shady. What's up, Caitlin? Glad to see you in there. Hi, Gately. Appreciate it, my man. All right. Heck yeah. All right. We'll keep rocking. Not too bad, not too good. He's getting close to sanding, I can tell you that. That's really about all. Like, I can give him some gill, a little bit more like plating under his mouth here. I could cut that out. I could probably get this piece in too. But then I'm going to do the rock system. And I don't know how far down I'm going to go. Because I could cut it off. I could leave it that tall, or I could cut it off. And I don't know if anybody'd want it to be that tall. It's hard to say. I'm too short for what I'm getting ready to do. I don't know if that makes any sense. But if you hadn't hit the like already, be sure and hit it. Hey, Papa Power, Papa Para. Hello? Hello? Let me take it and stand on a ladder. Maybe that'll help. But this piece, I don't know how tall it is. It's like 4.5 feet or something. I don't know. I don't feel any better trying to do it that way. Like it was. I made that work. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I can do with a chainsaw to this fish? And I don't really think so. I think the fish is ready to sand, and I need to go ahead and do the blocks. Basically put him on shale, like a rock system. It looks like shale. That's what I'm after. So I'm going to cut that in there into this bottom and just have little lines look like bricks. And I don't know how far down I'm going to go yet. I'm going to stop it right there and probably cut him off. I don't know, though. I mean, I kind of like it at that height. That's a nice, tall, ridiculous-looking piece. I guess I could make it all the way to the ground with the bricks, with the shale-looking rock, you know. I don't know. It's not a bad idea, anyway. Uh-huh. All right. Let's put the fire in this baby. I don't think I'm going to do it like that. I think I'm going to cut him off. In fact, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to cut him off right about here and be happy. Don't tell any women I said that. Are you out of fuel or what? No. Yeah, none of this stuff wants to run with it. It's still clinging. It's hanging on there. It's got a clinger. There we go. Snap it off in the end. See which end ended up with the burr. Looks like this end did. Yep. I gotta clean that up. And it pulled away from the concrete. All right. So there's that. Now, for the sake of, we're still working on it, I'll just set it back up there so we can burn this dude and sand it. See how that goes. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm pretty hacked off about that sound and how that started. You know, yeah, you'll have that. It's just the way it goes. Hey, Soldier Farms, what's going on, buddy? Be sure and check him out. Hi, Thomas, how you doing? Hi, Nelson Phil. Glad you're in there. All right, let's burn this dude. Do I have the lighter? Well, I'll put it this way. I had the lighter, and I don't know what I did with it, except for it might be in my truck, which is real close. That's it. Yeah. I guess not. I bet I had it in my jeans I had on earlier. And anyway, we'll just go get it. How about that? We'll walk and get it. Boy, it's really nice out here, and actually it's pretty hot. But I'm hacked off about that. What happens is when you're trying to live stream, what happens is when you're trying to live stream like that and you put all your information together, two things hurt you. Videos back to back, which I have a video that was like 2 or 3 minutes, you know, where it didn't have any sound. And then you don't have the description or anything like that, and it's used to seeing that. And it they don't treat you very good. A little technical difficulty. I don't know why I get so mad about it, but yeah, it's one of them days. I don't know. I just didn't feel like doing nothing today anyway, but sitting on it in a chair. And you know, everybody has that, right? I think so. I don't have it that much. But when I do have it, I have it, you know. And then things like that don't go right, and it's not my fault. I get mad, you know. Like, why ain't everybody else doing their job, you know? Why ain't these AI bots doing what they're supposed to do, you know? I don't know. A bunch of loser robots, you know? I mean, okay. All right, here we go. Yeah. Maybe they're on strike. I don't know. Maybe it's an attack by, maybe YouTube had an attack by Iran. I don't know, you know. And I don't know how mad I am as much as I felt like complaining about it, really, when it comes right down to it. So one thing I did think about is I would like to take and clean the base of that tail up a little bit. Not that anybody's generally going to be low enough to see it, but I just kind of like to thin it out just a little bit. really see it. It makes me feel better. Okay. All right, so we're burning it so it'll sand easier. And this wood here really is too wet to be sanding anyway, but we're gonna try. I would prefer to get it as done as possible, really. And I mean, you know it's pretty wet, and you don't want to burn right away with a turbo fork. This section here does, but where the bugs has been through it, doesn't want to burn. I'm gonna get it as done as I can get it. It is knocking the moisture out pretty good. Well, that's an ugly piece of wood just because it has a lot of moisture strung to it. I think when I sand it, it's probably going to come out pretty decent. We're going to find out anyway. That's what I can tell you. Heck yeah, you deserve it, Colt, whatever it is. Oh, I'm telling you. Just think how much worse it'd be if the boss lady was in there and she'd be telling you. Oh, man, I'm telling you. Feel for you. Okay. Feel for all of you. Just feel for me too, okay? All right, good deal. That's a fair trade. So I'm gonna sand him. I got an older pad anyway, so if it gums up, it gums up. And if it does, it's probably gonna be in the bottom would be most likely. But I think I can still get through the carve with it like that. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna sander. See what we got. I'll tell you what, really, I'm of the opinion that this disc is already wore out. It's already, you know, not very aggressive. So I'm going to use it just to clean the bottom, like this, clean all this outer layer, and then I'm going to change it to a new one. Just where that outer layer where the bark was, I cleaned it up with this junk disc, and then I'll put a new one on. Now look, guys, this is strictly for the guys. You know what I'm saying? You get a pad like that spinning, it's just about done, stop it. What happens is, it makes your hand rougher, and it's easier to hold on to mama. Or sheep if you're into that, I don't know. Whatever. I'll say you probably won't jump for gloves for that. I don't know. If you don't know, ask Thomason. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna take care of this new disc. Got my hands roughed up. Yeah. Who knows? I might grab onto her and she might mace me. You just never know. I'll probably wear some goggles. Like them protesters or whatever, you know. They go to Walmart and they get clear sacks and they wear them over their heads, they poke holes in them so they can breathe. And, you know, all anybody have to do is ruin a day of one of them protesters just come by with a roll of duct tape and take them holes up, you know, while they're out there screaming at ICE or whatever, you know, just, you know, it'd be pretty rough, you know, bag stuck on your head. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, just saying, you know, the world's rough. You gotta be careful. That's for sure. Heck yeah. All right. she's smoothing out pretty nice. I don't know. What do you guys think? Not too bad, not too good. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. And the rocks I don't mind leaving rough, but I'll have to hit them a little bit. I want to leave them rough, but I gotta clean them up a little bit. Probably burn them if I find now. Yeah, that's good enough for that. So he's got a lot of lines and stuff like that that's got to go in him. So I think I'm going to start with the eye, get the manpile eye cutters out, see which one I got chucked up, and go from there. I think I splitting a lot of wood yesterday. That was what I was doing yesterday. And Mondays, I've been taking Mondays and just doing work around the yard, and it's a good thing. I mean, I'm getting a lot done, you know, and you have to take care of your stuff, you know. But all right, let's see. Or I mean, you can let it go. You can always let it go, you know, trash, whatever, you know. I mean, you can. I don't really want to, but that's going to be his eyeball. Let's give him a little extra something around the edge. What the heck, I guess I could have given him, and I still could. I guess I could have given him a little bit of a brow. Trout tend to have a mean look to them. They have like this goofy little bit of a brow, and anyway, it just makes them look a little on the mean side. And sometimes I've made them like that, and sometimes I haven't. You know. Let's see, I think this is 2 sizes bigger. That's what I'm getting. Okie doke, and I'm going to put it more to the back with that main eyeball being more to the front. Man, I really didn't do anything. Really, it's not big enough to make much difference. Well, I'll just carve it in then. We can do that. I'm gonna get pointy burr out because I gotta give him a lateral line, and I like to give him the dots with these burrs, and I have in the past quite a bit, but anymore I don't think that makes sense. If you're gonna paint the fish, you should paint the dots. And try to go around there and paint where you've already poked. It's not that. It not only does it sound dorky, it doesn't work. All right, let's see. This is just a lateral line carving. putting the tail first. You stand up for a little bit. Yeah, you get older. Your legs just don't want to stay like that. You know, you got to take a break. So I'm gonna start giving some fins. Get that. Start giving the fins, those little lines or whatever they call them. We're gonna set them in there. stand up for a minute before I do that towel. You can't have a leg not working, right? And I can lay it down flat and make it easy for me, but then nobody would say I was doing. And that ain't worth nothing. Hey, Miss Francis, what's going on? Billy, shoemate, what do you know? Heck yeah. All right. Yeah, hit it again, came back. Okay. Yeah, it was a chat's not even working right. I'm telling you that we might be under attack. Who knows? Digitally. These things go on all the time. And we never hear about it because if it don't affect us, we never hear about it, you know. Uh-huh. What I can tell you is Miller Lite's good. But this is get too warm for me. Mm-hmm. Clear that out. And I'll do the tail, and then I'm going to give him a little bit of like eye detail. Like just dig out in front of it a little bit, try to make it look fierce, maybe give it some a little extra shape in the back of the, I don't know. We'll see how it looks. I don't know if it'll be right until I do it. And even if it's not right, it's just going to be on there. You know what I mean? Heck yeah. All right, let's keep going. I got to suffer through this. Turn this thing a little bit. Okay. Don't be falling over. Not now. right, I like it. I'll do a little bit more to it with the flat disc. Try to clean it out, or actually, finger sander would really be a better choice. I did get this. Oh man, this this belt is wore out, and I mean wore out. But it'll be good for that, so I'm gonna use it. And then I got burning, and really then once he's burnt, there really ain't nothing to do. But let me put the mask on. This is gonna cut a lot best. All right. Got to blow the mask out, you know. Alright. But anyway, burn even lean dry, just like everything else over here. I'll tell you what, that's like semi-annoying. And I got new belts, so I don't know why. I wouldn't just put one on. I just got them last week, but I actually remembered that I needed them. And this belt here is like, I've never let a belt go this long. I don't think. And actually, I don't know if these belts ever usually go this long. I mean, usually they break before they get that bad. And but I haven't changed it in a long time, I can tell you that. Now I can't get the stupid thing out. They always want to come off on their own, but if you want to take them off, I don't want to. How about that? Okay. Change this belt out. Just clean it up a little better, I think, you know. I'll try. Let's see. Yeah, nice shiny new belt. Okay. fire to it again. Dry them out. See how that goes. Heck, you sand and you put all that stuff in it. It almost takes as long as the carving part, you know. Fish pretty detailed. Just the way it is though. Alright, so burn it just to clean it up. I mean, it's going to be painted anyway. But like the eye, the depth of that house is open forward. I really like it. Not too good. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things. He's a happy fish. You know, he's a fishy. He's fishy. That's what we got. Hey, Matthew. Hey, pizza delivery man. Under 30 minutes. Heck yeah, that's fast. They ought to give you $100 every time for a tip. That's what he's like, man, where's he live? I want to deliver him a pizza. That's probably what he's saying. Heck yeah. So we've been on here an hour and a half. Yeah. Yeah, it's been over an hour and a half. Okay, yeah, they take a while. It is what it is. That's just life, you know, in the big city. Yeah, I got, I'll show you guys. I've been working on this wood pile up here. So, with our advertisement up on the road, I'm going to have, you know, a couple big pieces up there. And, I told the boss lady, I said, I'm just going to start selling, firewood up by the road and, you know, build a box. And the signs I carved a couple weeks ago, you know, I carved one more that says firewood, and we'll put them up there by the road. But hey, check this out, by the way. Just got these yesterday. I'm telling you, I absolutely love them. It was another about $500 to add those to this, but I'm telling you, it was worth every bit of it. And I made a heck of a pile up here. I'll show you here in a second. We'll walk up in here. But I've been splitting. I had a bunch of wood up here and burning stuff. I burnt one chicken coop and like a storage toolbox. And then just been working on this firewood. So this side here, this thin stuff will be the sale stuff, and that stuff there's the good stuff that I want to keep for myself. You know what I mean? That's why it's thicker. It's not that stuff isn't good. It's just real cut. It's split a lot thinner. And plus there's some boards in there I decided I wasn't going to use. I ended up splitting some of them up in there too. But anyway, I got this whole pile. You know, I'm driving through this woods, and it's a pretty good angle. It don't look like it, but it's a pretty good angle up through there. And made this pile yesterday with that skid steer with the forks, and I cut them too short. I should have left them longer because it'd have been a lot easier to get them up here if I had it. But I still got all this old junk wood, and this stuff I'm gonna split it up, and that'll be my road sale stuff once it's dry. That stuff, you know, it's got to burn good. You know, people buy campfire wood, it's got to burn good. But anyway, that's what I've been doing, because I'm trying to clean this area up here up pretty good and get rid of some crap. And you can't even tell it's up here because like this, there's no more trees than there is up here, and then there's weeds that grow up and stuff. You can't even tell anything's up here in 10 feet anyway, because it just gets so thick in the summertime. But that said, this stretch through here, I want to put a portable sawmill in here, and I got to have enough room to get on both sides of it to load it, and then also to be able to clean up I guess the dust would be on this side, the sawdust would be on this side. And I got to be able to clean that up with the skid steer, and I still got to be able to go up here and come down and be able to set logs on there. And I'm not planning on getting too carried away with logs. I mean, that thing's not very heavy either, but that's what I'm working on. I got the old coop up there, and then we had like an assistant box in between the two that used to keep water and stuff. I ain't made up my mind on that, whether I'm going to burn it yet or not. I probably am in the end, but it's hard to say. But just cleaning up some crap so that by the time I get that, you know, I got a plan. I know where I'm going to put it and all that stuff. And you need that. You need that kind of stuff. If you're going to do this, you need that kind of stuff. That's where I'm at with it. But anyway, that's what I got, guys. Let's see. What? Oh, you mean the skid steer? Well, I mean, how you going to see it if I'm running around? You're not really going to see it. You just see me driving the you know. I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it out. I don't care. I mean, it don't matter. I mean, that's kind of, I think it's going to be kind of silly, but let's try it anyway. Here we go. So, and choke it about every time if I hadn't run an hour or so. Turn the baby on. Let's turn key. I don't know what that is. You gotta think this is Chinese. So whatever 30 is in China, that's what this thing feels like right now, I guess. I don't know. Here, we'll blow the horn. There, how about that? Yeah. Anyway. Thing works pretty good. I'll probably make a video on it. I don't know how I could run it. And it takes 2 hands to run it. Hey, let's try that. Phone's bouncing around too much. Pick the wife's car up and flip it. How about that? Here, I can put them down some so they're not so in the way. We'll go over and play with some logs. Pretty shaky. But I'm on the concrete, you know. But I like the tracks because I'm not digging with skid steer tires. If I'd have bought them with tires, it'd dig holes in the yard. And the tracks, well, they do smear the yard. At least they don't dig holes. Let me try to get that foam just a little better. And I'll go up in here and I'll pick up a log or two, I guess. Maybe that big one. There's a little bit of dip here. And you might think it shouldn't matter. Trust me, it does. So that's a pretty good sized log right there. This one here, you can see it. Next one, that's a pretty good sized log. Let's see what she does. And you gotta be sure not to get in, well, with that other log on there, it's too heavy. It wants to tip the machine forward. See if I can get it off there. Maybe I should have dug it out. Here, let me back up. But this little thing's got way more power than it has counterweight. So I haven't figured that out yet. I'm going to add some counterweight to it. See if I can take this one and put it up here with that other one. It's just where I'm going down this nugget, this hill right here. Even with that little log, it's dipping forward. It's just like a little ditch there. Well, this would be so much better to see in landscape, wouldn't it? I don't know if I'll be able to pick it up the way it's sitting right now. With me being in this dip, we're going to find out. Normally a piece like that, I mean, that's probably 9 foot. And I would generally cut it. I mean, I don't have any reason to pick up a 9-foot piece in general. But It'll absolutely pick it up, I can tell you that. I'm trying to get it out of here like that with that dip. It's just not working because it's picking me up. It's picking me up too much. How about if I take that log? I know it's fun. I mean, the machine's fun to have. I'm glad to have it. It's a toy. Bottom line, it's a toy. It's hard on that asphalt grindings in the driveway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try. You see how that bank? You wouldn't think that with no more weight than this thing has. You wouldn't think that matters, but it does. At least I wouldn't have thought it would matter. Back up. What I'm trying to do is get it in the driveway, in the flat part of the driveway. Okay, that's flat enough. If it won't pick it now, it's too heavy. So yesterday we were trying to load this heavy tote, and I gotta tell you guys this story real quick before I continue. We were trying to load this heavy, it was a tote basket. Took the tote out and it was just a basket. I filled that basket full of scrap fencing and stuff we had out here. And it was me on this back platform. It was me, the boss lady, and the baby boss lady all huddled up on this thing in order to have enough weight to get it in the truck. I mean, it was pretty funny. Oh well, here, hold on. Okay. Now let's see if it'll, now that it's level. There we go. See, now that we're level, whoa, I told you wrong there. Yeah, how about that? I guess I can scoot that log. Probably 9 foot, I'd say, something like that. So I'm moving along with it. As long as I'm going forward, I'm probably okay. And then I got the forks down. But without counterweight, just me on here, I'm never going to really have things much bigger than this to move around, you know. And I mean, generally, they're going to be 6 foot, 6 or 7 foot, no bigger than that. So now that I got this big log that I can barely get on this thing, yeah, man. Here, if I back in here, I get the, at least get the, I'll say at least get the, come on baby, come back. I'm trying to get it to roll back. This is funny stuff. My wife's probably even laughing at me. But I don't care, I'm having fun with it. Come on, baby, roll, 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 roll. There it goes. So what I did was, I got it up on the, totally up on the forks, and I got this thing picked up pretty high, and that seemed to do it. Now, if I stepped off of here, I'm telling you, it would just lean forward until the log fell off, you know, and the forks hit the ground. So anyway, we'll put it back low. That's what I needed though. I needed something like this to be able to move this stuff around. And if I add some counterweights back here, I've been thinking about that too. There's several ways you can do it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, most of the time I'm not gonna be trying to move something this big around anyway. It'd be about 2/3 that height, you know. But anyway, let's set her back down. I'm gonna have to go easy, because when I go back up there, that dip, it don't seem like that much of a dip from here. Here, let me set that down all the way and I'll show you what I mean. It's down enough, it ain't gonna go forward. And you gotta clean the driveway up too. So if you look, there's a dip there, and it don't seem like that much of a dip. But I'm telling you, when you're picking up something that heavy with that, that's a heck of a dip, and it just wants to go forward. It's kind of fun. But I love this little thing. And for what I got in it, I got about 4,100 bucks in it. I got it new, at an auction, and then the forks had another 500 bucks in the forks. So I got about 4,100 bucks in it. Look how it's, well, no, I thought it was tipping forward, but I guess it was just kind of dirt. But it's perfect for what I need, and then it's not too big either. All right, let's put that log back up. Get some throttle going. Woohoo! Get lower, that way it just bounces off the ground. Look at that, I'm already going forward. There we go. Now the weight's off. But you know, I'm gonna come down here and get a 6-foot piece. I can do it. I got something that'll actually do it. I don't have to try to manhandle that no more, so I'm pretty happy. All right, let's put this thing back up. Pretty shaky on hard ground. We was even talking the other day about taking it. Oh, hold on a minute, before I hit that bump in the driveway. Taking it and trying to pick up the Jeep with it, pick up my Wrangler, and we thought better of it. You know, it probably wasn't that good an idea. Pretty good vibration up here. Shaky, shaky. Woo-hoo. This is a pretty steep incline, and it don't have no, I mean, my phone doesn't like it, but the machine don't have no problem climbing this span line to get up here to where the mill's going to be. And that's the other thing, you carrying something heavy up that hill, it on the front, it really don't matter, it don't hurt you now. Okay. That said, if there's one thing I can tell you, absolutely, it's that this thing is never going to make the trip up this hill. And it would get up there, up to about here. You look up there, there's this little gnome house I built back in 2000 or 2020. And it would make it up in there. But to go up there on that hill, nope, ain't happening. Yeah, it ended up. But that thing works out pretty good for the needs I got. And yeah, it's moving stuff around. And not only that, yeah, you're right. That's the Nick, or was it Nick? Yeah, Nick said it. That helps me. Not here. I've been moving 6-foot logs around with a dolly, and just tearing myself up. And I didn't want a tractor because the tractor lifting capacity on a subcompact tractor is no better than that is. They're typically less. They have less power to pick up than that thing has. And it's compact. It's easy for me to hide it in here. Heck yeah. You got a smart car, back tire? Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, it could. If it had a lot of weight on it, it could. If it had a good counterweight, it's got all kinds of power. But anyhow, this drainage ditch, I cut this in here the other day. I got to put grass seed down yet, but I did that Saturday. And I dug that thing like a champ, man. I mean, like it was nothing. And with just a regular old bucket that came with it. And so it was pretty good. I had a good time with it. But anyway, guys, hey, that's what I got. I appreciate y'all being in here. We will be back in Thursday is the plan. And actually, I think this week we might be on a marathon run. We'll see. It might be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. We're going to see. But heck yeah, I'm glad to have y'all in here. Oh yeah, Chucker, that's what you said right there. So if you look at a subcompact with just a loader bucket, granted it has a PTO, you could run you could run like a brush hog or something like that, and of which that has a PTO on it too, so that you could run attachments like a drill, a trencher. You can run a drill, a trencher, a clamp, you know, like a brush clamp or a log clamp or something like that. So it has some similar stuff like that. But it takes up the space, and you can't buy a subcompact tractor for less than about 16,000, you know? And so for me, between the cost difference and the space, it takes up less than half the space of a subcompact tractor. That made way more sense, you know, for me anyway. And, you know, you we are a fledgling little small business, you know. No, hey, Nick, I'm actually in Southeast Ohio, man, Hocking Hills region. Yeah, I don't know if it'll last for a long time, though. It's Chinese, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's what I got. I hope Colt's gone because the boss lady come out and she wants to punch him in the lip. Colt, the whole time he starts out the thing, I hope I don't get bullied. I hope I don't get bullied this time. All right, guys, that's what I got. I will catch you guys on Thursday. Come back when you can stay later, ya schmucks.